Okay, first we look at the if-else conditions. So how to use mm, like condition in our program, right? So condition is basically check whether it's true or not. Depending on that, we can run the statement. Okay. So here is a condition is B greater than A. So we are checking condition and then we are printing the statement. Okay. So if we have the else statement, so ELIF, we can write multiple conditions. Okay. And if we have finally else, so we can write else condition. Okay. So if both are the conditions are not matching, then finally the else will be coming. Okay. So this is basically the if else if condition. Okay. So sometimes if you want to check three numbers are there. So if you want to check A is greater than B and B is greater than A is greater than B and A is greater than C, B is greater than A and B is greater than C, else C is greater. Okay. So that kind of program we can write if more than one number, more than like a three numbers are there and we want to find one number is greater, okay, out of three number. And if else condition, we can use this shorten if. See, if A is greater than B colon print statement, or if else we can write like this. If so, A and greater than B, else print B. Okay. So this is the if else condition. So if you want to write print A if A is greater than B, else print this if A is equal B, else print B. So this is for shorthand. Okay. And end condition you want to use, you have to use A, right? I told you, right? Three numbers, like I want to find which number is greater. Okay. So if A is if this kind of program, I want to find which number is greater. So A is greater and A is greater C. A is greater B, A is greater C. So I will say A is greater. Okay. Then I will write else if ELIF else if, and I say B is greater A. Okay, and B is greater than C. Okay, B is greater than both the number. Then print B is greater. And else is, we know we don't need to check any condition. So else is print C is greater. Okay. So this logic is common. We can write in any programming language where actually we have to use colon. So which number is greater? 300 is greater. If I make it 500, 600, so now A is greater. So I should get the A is greater. If I say B is greater, so now we use greater. Okay. So this is the simple way of finding the if else conditions. Okay. And or operator, not operator, nested if, right? One if condition, then second if condition. So same thing we can write with the nested if also. How can we write? So how can we write a nested if? Suppose I say A is greater than C. Okay. So I'm saying A is, so first I check A is greater than B. And if A is greater than B, I think nested if it's not possible. We have to check with the condition only. Okay, because this is nested condition when we write when sub condition is the part of the condition. Like if I say here, if x is greater than 10, so I can say 10 when, but x is greater than 20. If 10 is great, x is greater than 10. Now next is like I have to check x value is greater than 20 or not. So then I can check the nested condition. So like sub condition is the part of the outer condition, then we can use. And pass statement is something I don't want to say anything. Just simply I want to pass on the condition. I don't want to print anything. So I can use pass. In this case, it will print nothing. Okay. But if I want to keep it else, I have not if, but I have a else. And I say print A is greater. Okay. I want to print the message of A is greater, not B is greater. Okay, even B is greater, but A is greater. So now if I make it value 330, now this time is the B is greater. So it will come in the else. But but in some cases, right, if I don't want to print any message in the anything I don't want to do, just pass. So pass is just put it condition, but I'm not doing anything. So it will be pass on. Okay. Okay, while loop, while loop or for loop, like iterative loop, we can have like a condition we have to check multiple times. So if I'm starting I is 1 and I'm checking I less than 6, so I is 1 and then it will check and then it will print I and I plus plus 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when it I will come 6, so I will become 6 after incrementing I, then 6 less than 6 it will fail and it will not come inside. So that is a way to define the condition by while loop. Okay. One break statement is there. Suppose I say when I'm iterating loop, but in the loop, right after I want to come out from this if condition break, right? So I don't want to complete my loop. I say when I is 1 and I is not equal to 3, I equal 3, then only break. Otherwise, my condition will keep going on 1, 2, 3. But when I become 3, so 3 will break and it will completely break. So we need to find out the condition on which my my loop will break. So there is some certain point I can find with the if condition and some counter value. Based on that, I can break my condition. Okay. So even for loop also I can break, or even while loop I can break. Okay. And there is a one continue statement. Continue is, and what is a break and continue difference? Break is once it will call break means it will exactly come out, immediately come out from the loop immediately. But continue, what it does, it skips that one. Suppose I say I is 3, then only I will continue means I will check my condition. Okay. But only 3, after 3 it will continue means next statement will not go here. It will go again 4, 5, 6. So you will see except 3, everything is printing. So when I is 1 and I is not 3, it will print I. If I is not 3, it is printing I for 2. When I is 3, it is continue and go to the next I, right? It didn't go to the, but it didn't break, right? So continue means it is going to check condition and continue. Continue means continue. So only the particular condition you will skip your statement. So continue means to skip the statement further for a particular condition, but rest of the other conditions you will continue. Okay, so that is basically continue. Is it clear? The else you can keep it for every for loop or while loop. You can have the else, like same like if else condition. So this else is you are first running your while loop. I equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and once I become 6, so definitely this is false. And false means if it is true, so if it is kind of if else condition only. You can think of the while is a if and else is there. So whenever this condition is matching, so you will be printing I and I plus 1. You are incrementing. But when it comes to false, it will come to the else. Same thing with the for loop. Okay. Same thing for loop. So for loop is also iterating. For loop one use is a for loop is, already you seen the collection item, you can iterate. You can each X in the banana, right? Each string means each character you are taking. But when you are taking a list, so each element is an item, each item. Okay. But here is a string itself is a one item. So here it will be iterate through the letters. Okay. So break statement is there, same thing. And whatever we see in the continue, we can have continue also in the for loop. And we can have, we can use the range also. Okay, so range is 0 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can have the range, and we can have like start and end parameter also in the range, or we can have skip, right? If I say 2 to 30 and 2 after 3, 5, then 3, 8, like this it will go. So 2, 5, 8, 11, like 3, 3, 3, 3 values skip. Okay. Incremental. Okay. The sequence with 3, but default is 1. If you don't give it, it will be taking 1, 1, 1. And for loop is having also else, same true false condition. If your X is printing 6 times, 0 to 5 times, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally, when it is false, the condition is done, then it is printing finally finished. Okay. So this all clear, right? This is very simple, like for while and while loop and for loop. So these are the, and nested loop also there. Like if I say one loop inside another loop, right? I have a two list, and I'm just iterating. The first is adjective loop, and then I'm having another loop, fruit loop. So I'm making it the combinations x comma y. So if this loop has 3 element and this loop has 3 element, total 9 times is done. For each value of this x, 3 times y value will be repeated. Okay. So like same x value, 3 times y value will come. Again, same x 3 times same value. The y is repeated 3 times. And x same value, y is 3 times. Okay. So this way it's like a combination, it is running in the loop. And suppose you have to pass the statement. So pass you can use. Okay. So that is the pass. Okay, is clear everyone? Like so far this, all the loops function, operators, everything, right? Okay. So next thing is like function. Function is basically reusable component, right? Suppose something I write in the function, so function can be called and it can be executed again and again, right? And basically we create a function like using the def keyword. We define the def keyword and we define the function, and def and function name, and we define the function body. Okay. Calling a function, just simply call function with the name. If you have the argument to the function, so if you have a one parameter function, so you will pass the one parameter. So it will take your value from the parameter and it will print. Okay. So you can pass parameters, argument. And if you have the two arguments, you are passing in the functions two argument. The function expect two argument, but gets only one. So here is the error is, it is expecting missing one required positional parameter. But there is a way in Python we can make it some default value. Okay. If you don't pass the second parameter, sometimes my function is expecting more values, but while calling the function, it is up to you how many parameters you want to pass. So depending on your parameters, it will handle. So suppose I'm passing the three parameters here. So I'm using a var arg here. This is a variable argument. So this is the variable argument is an arbitrary argument. An arbitrary argument is taking a tuple values. So if I'm saying I'm passing the three values, So I know this one is values are 3, right? So even you can iterate the loop of this one. Okay, this collection you can iterate and for I in kids, and then you can print each value. But you already know the 3 values are there. So definitely 0, 1, 2 is there. If you make it this value 1, it will be giving a second value because it knows 0 and 1, the second value Tobias is there. If you give 0, it will give 0. But suppose I don't want to, I want to print all the value, whatever it comes. Suppose 3 are coming, 3 should print. If it is coming 2, it will print 2. So how can you do that? So you know this is a collection. The first of all, any collection value for I in its colon, and then you can print off. Sorry, this one. I will come. It will print same. Okay. So kids of I you will do. The first time it will take the I value is the first value. Oh, this one I'm giving the 3 values. So I have to print just I, right? Why I print this kids of I? So I means my each individual value of my array list, like tuple, right? So I will get all the values, right? If I'm passing here, suppose 2 more values. So my condition will effective or not? My condition is not effective. My condition is not affected, okay? Because my loop is running for any number of values are there, I will run, right? So I'm not worried about my loop condition. Just I will give my any number of values. So this is called arbitrary argument, okay? So arbitrary argument is basically using the star symbol, then we can define, okay? There are some keyboard argument, right? You have, like I say, you can also send the argument with the key equal to value. Okay, I say this value for this value for this variable, this value for this variable, this value is this variable. So whichever value I want to get, I will get that value. Okay. So the way of order or argument doesn't matter. So any argument, but here is matters, right? Because it will be taking in the same sequence order in which order you are just passing. Okay, argument, arbitrary argument, keyboard argument, KWARs. So like if you don't know how many keyword argument will be passed in your function, add 2 asterisks before parameter name and function definition. The way of function will receive a dictionary of the argument and can access the I argument. Okay. So the number of keyboard argument is unknown when we are not sure, to use double asterisk, and then we can access the parameter with the key. So it is kind of key and value, key and value, key and value like that. Okay. I told you the default parameter, right? Suppose sometimes I'm not, suppose I'm not passing the value in my function, but still my function will work. So I set it, my default value is country equal to Norway. So if I'm passing the country, it will take it that country. Suppose I'm saying Sweden, so I'm from Sweden. If I'm saying India, I'm from India. If I'm saying Brazil, I'm from Brazil. If I'm not saying anything, it will take it default is Norway. So this is called the default parameter. Okay. Okay, so these are the simple things. And passing a list as an argument also. Suppose entire list I want to pass as a argument. So I can pass the argument to the function. So simply this function is taking a list, right? I'm passing a list as a complete as a list I'm passing, and I'm iterating the list and printing the list values in the function. Return value. So we don't need to return keyword we have to use, and it will automatically take the type, right? What type of value is returning. Okay. And pass statement is there. Pass statement, like suppose my function is not doing anything. Just I want to define function, but I want to call function, but it is the empty body, so I can use pass. Positional only argument, right? Okay. You can specify that function, you have only positional argument, only keyword argument. Okay, so so this is after the argument we should provide. Okay, even I didn't try this. So what exactly it is doing? Without this, you are actually allowed to use keyword argument, even if function expect the positional argument. But when you adding a question mark, colon slash, you will get an error if you send a keyword argument. So in this scenario, it is saying question mark slash. So it's saying you can try you can try only position only argument. You can specify function can only position argument, not the keyboard argument only. So keyword argument, but you cannot specify the so keyword only arguments if you want to use. So star colon we are saying. Any specific use is not there. Question star slash. So sometimes you want to keep it both positional and keyboard only. So positional is a number, index one, and keyboard only is basically when you specify with the variable like C and D value is here and A and B value will be given as a positional. So if you want to use both together, so in that case, like you want to keep it 5 and 6 is assign A and B anyone, but C and D value will be 7 and 8. Okay. So that is the basically the keyboard one. Recursion is a okay. Recursion we know, right? In the every programming language, recursion is there. So recursion is basically when function call itself. That is basically recursion. Okay. So we can do the factorial or some Fibonacci series with the recursion. So anything we can write recursion, but recursion we have to give one terminating condition. If we are not giving a terminating condition, so our function will always be our keep calling, it will become infinite. Okay. Suppose I'm saying here the value 6. So I'm checking if the k value is greater than 6. So it will call itself again and again and plus increment it is doing. So 6 plus, it is calling the recursion function for the 5. Again 6 plus 5 plus 4, it's calling. Then 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3. Then 6 plus 5, 4 plus 3, 2 plus 1. And when it will become 0, so k is greater than 0, means k1. And when 1 is there, the 1 minus 1, 0. So then the value will return 0. So if you see here 6 value, so first time when you are printing the 1 is there, why it is coming print result? Okay, every time you are printing the result also. So it is starting the value with the 6, right? So 6 plus 6 plus. Okay, so 6 plus. Okay, first print statement will be doing for the 1, right? So where is the 1 plus 0, right? That will be print 1. Then when the value k is 2, right? The 2 plus recursion of 2 minus 1 is the 1. Okay. So 2 plus 1, 3. And when 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is a 6. So this way it is printing the value, and like when the 6 value is there, so 6 plus 5, 5 plus 4, 4 recursion, 3 recursion, 2 and 1. Okay, so it will plus all the values 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, 15. plus 3, 18, plus 2, 20, and 20 plus 1, 21. Okay, so like this, it will be printing for all individual values sum. Okay. Lambda. Okay, so what is lambda? Lambda is an anonymous function. So lambda generally used to like it's an anonymous function. We don't need to define the body. Okay, for any programming language like Python, Java, Scala, so lambda is there. So in Python is lambda is the lambda keyword, but in Scala and Java, so lambda is like, okay, in Java the lambda is equal greater, and Scala is like this lambda. So these are the symbol of the lambda, but here in the Python, lambda is the lambda. So when I say lambda a, I say what I want to do on the a. So I said a plus 10, this is my body. Okay. So when I say x of 5, so this 5 is given as a value to your lambda. Okay. And then it will give the result 15. So 5 plus 10, 15. Okay. So when I say two values are there, so you have to specify input parameter to your left side, and right side of the colon, you are giving the body, what you want to do. Okay. So you are saying here a multiply b, right? I want to do a and multiply b. So my result will be 30. Suppose I have a three values and I want to say I want to do the sum of three values. Okay. So you can specify three values sum. So I'm defining the sum. Okay. So you can inside any function, you can call the lambda, right? You are returning lambda here. So you are saying lambda, what you want to do exactly, you are specifying in the right side, right? What you want to do. So this way you can get any result you can get through the lambda, and lambda can be used with some Python inbuilt functions are there. So I have some combinations, right? Like, okay, I want to use Python map function with lambda. Okay. So I have a list of values. I have a list of values. I say I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I say I should use the lambda. I want to multiply of 2 of each element. And I want to get the result like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? So this result is coming, correct? If you want this result, through lambda, you want to do. One way is for loop you can use, right? For loop, and then you can multiply. That is the easy way. I don't want to use the for loop. So what I will do, I will use whatever my list, right? I want to convert back to the list. So I'm using a list constructor, and I'm using a map function. Map function is basically each element of lambda. I'm taking up the list, each element of my list, and I will be giving an input to my lambda, and it will be doing multiply, and this map is basically picking up the each element and doing the operation on the lambda. And finally, I'm creating a list. So that is my target. So this is the way like I can use Python map lambda. Okay. You can use here many other examples. So see, we have to know many use cases. So I suppose I want to use filter function. So filter function is in Python, same thing like in the list. I say I want to filter out where the words which has the length is greater than 3. So I have a list of string values. Okay, this is a list basically. And this list is taking as a parameter. Okay, and which is in the lambda, it is taking a parameter. Each word is taking as a one parameter. And it is checking the length as is greater than 3. So wherever my word length is greater than 3, so only this one or this one, and then I'm getting the one. Okay, so filter function is there. So this kind of use cases are there we can use with the lambda. Okay, with the other utility functions are there, map, flat map, filter, right? These functions we can use. Okay. So Python having the arrays, actually NumPy is also one library is there, NumPy. Okay. And Generally, array is treated as a list only, but if you especially want to work with the array, so there is a numpy array, numpy. So this is the same way you are defining the list basically. So list is like basically a single element list or multi-dimension list, right? You can define. So you are accessing the element, same thing, length of your array. You are printing the element of array, adding the element to your array, pop you are doing. So these are the methods you are using in the array. Okay. Okay, so once we come to the class and object-oriented concept, right? So in Python, right, we have object-oriented programming. So Python has functional programming and Python has object-oriented programming. Okay. So object-oriented programming is the OOPS concept, right? We are already aware of the OOPS, right? Then there are many more OOPS concept is there. Polymorphism, inheritance, right? Okay, abstraction is there, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction. So these are the fundamental concept of the OOPS and class and objects. So generally class is the blueprint, right? You say which is the collection of the objects. So class is the collection of the objects. So if I'm defining any class, so class has the properties and functions, behaviors. So if I'm defining any properties or variable, I can directly define the class, my class, and I can create some variables. I want to create an instance of this class, object of this class. So I will create an object name equal to and class constructor. So what is the constructor? Constructor is basically initializing the values in the class. And once I have the object of the class, I can access the value and I can set the value. Okay, so here I'm doing p1.x, I'm going to x the value. Okay. So this is the one example like init function is basically, so this init is always executed when the class is being initiated. So generally in the, we are passing the self, right? Self is means same class instance. Okay. So we are passing the same class instance and then we are doing here like same class instance we are passing. And here suppose this class having the two properties, name and age, and I'm passing and I'm initializing the values of class. And this is the one way, like we are doing the through init function, we are initializing the value. Okay. But the other way is like I can call some set function and then I can set the values of the class variable. Okay. So we can define that one also. Okay. So we can use init or str function like for initializing, and then we are setting the value in the, so we can want to return, so we can assign back, so we can do. We can change the value also. So init we can use to like I'm passing here. So either you pass the self or you pass the some any other object, right? It's not a matter. Okay, but this my function is called a separate function, which is using, which is printing the like what is this ABC? This is p1 dot my function. ABC dot name is like a same class p1 object. So if you want to modify the object property, so we can access the object and then we can set the new value. So new value will be set. If you want to delete any object property, you can use del command. So del we know, right? We can delete in the memory. Okay, or complete object you want to delete, you can delete. If you don't want to write anything in the class, so class pass is there. Okay, so we can pass on the class. And if you want to use inheritance, like one is a parent and one is a child class, so I'm defining one parent class here. Just simply I created a first name, last name, and the print name is basically printing the first name, last name value. Okay. When I call the print name function, it will print both the values. Okay. And I want to create a one child class. So how to create a child class? So child class is passing as a parameter as a inheritance. Okay. And when you so inheritance means the parent properties will be automatically come to the child class. So use the student class to create object and then execute the print name. So for any student class object, if I create like this, so it will print the student. So when I give the, if I create like a parent, what will do? Because I'm not doing anything else in the parent student, just I'm doing pass. So it means whatever his parent is doing, that student can do. But if I want to do something different in the student, I can inherit. Okay. Suppose I say I want to write one print function, but that print function is in case of a student, this print function. Mm, how it will be. Let's see. Sorry. The right now both are same. So this time I want to use something. So can you see I have overridden, right? Basically, here is also print name, but I have given my own body in my student one. So student one, see, I want to, previously it was pass. So pass means everything will come as it is. But inheritance, when you are doing and you want to override your child, now you say your child function, the parent function you want to override in the child and say some different body. So I change the body here. So can you see whenever I'm passing the parent values, it is coming like this. When I'm passing the child values, it is coming like this. So what is the difference here? So it's calling its own parent, its own function, right? If it is a parent object, so it's calling the parent. If it is child, it is calling the child value. Okay, so this is called runtime polymorphism. Runtime polymorphism is like when inheritance is happening, right? So the child class will call the child function and child parent will be called the parent function. Okay, parent function body, right? Function name is same, only the body will change. Okay, or like we can initialize like this way. Okay, in the student, I can say init function I can define for the student, and I can call the super also. So super is basically used to call the super version. So suppose I have in the my student has three values. I have first name, last name, but I say in student has first name, last name, and middle name. So what I want to do in my student class, I want to initialize with the three values. So two values I will initialize by the super, and the third value I will add by manually here. So basically in the super class, if you like, this is the example you can see. So in the student, like this graduation year is not, so person is a general, right? Person, we cannot say any graduation year. Person is a general class which has the first name, last name. But suppose I say some property I want to add in student, which is not in the person. Like the property name is a graduation year. So every person, every student is the person. So definitely every student will be initialized as a person. but additionally, it will be adding a value, the graduation year, the whatever year is student has. Okay. So that is basically the one more extra property I'm giving, and I'm initializing like this. Okay. And we can add more methods. Like I want to, so when I call on the student, I want to call function first name, last name, and I want to print graduation year. Okay. So if I want to print in the person, I will be printing on the first name, last name. Okay. But mostly, whenever we are printing the student only, because person is just a class which is inherited by student, and student has the extra property. So you can say in Java there is an abstract class concept, right? Like some class which is abstract. There is no physical existence, but the class is inherited by some other class, the abstract class. Okay, and then you will see like car. So car is an abstract class. Okay, so same thing I'm saying here. Person is abstract class, but when this class is inherited by student, and student is adding more extra property. So same like car is a abstract class, but car can have like different models car and like a expensive car. Okay, so those cars features can come. Okay, so this way we can understand how inheritance works. Okay, and so Python iterator, right? Iterator is or iterable, right? Two things are there. So sometimes collection items are iterable object. So they are iterable content which you can get iterator. So one way you seen that, like for loop you can iterate the elements, right? But one is a ITR iterate ITR function. You can iterate all the collection items, right? All the collection items you can. So every time when you do next, you will get the next element. Okay. So string also iterable, like every single character you want to iterate. So you can do iterate. Same thing you can loop through, iterate a value. Okay. And if you want to iterate the character of a string, so you can use the for loop. So for loop, this one is the easy, the general way. And you can create a on iterator also, like for particular class has list of values are there, right? So you want to create a class which is have the number, right? One is a starting number, and then you want to plus one every time, and then you can iterate. Okay, so that way you can do. Okay, so polymorphism is another concept is like you want to function can have a different form of the like it methods, like you can say one interface many form. So many form means like same function can behave in a different way. So that is basically polymorphism. Okay. Okay, so len of x tuple, like okay, you can get the length of, so length is here any type of item it can take. It can take a string item, or it can take tuple item, it can take dictionary item. So len can take it. So class polymorphism, you can create different classes, right? You created a one class car, one class is a boat. So boat have the boat properties, and but you seen here brand and model, these are the same properties, and move is the action that is the same, but their value is a different. If you say the car is always drive. If you say boat is sail, plane is fly, right? So their behavior is different, but their properties are same, right? Their properties are same. So when I'm creating an instance of the classes, so I created a three instances for the three classes. When I call move function, so move function is called, so this already I shown to you, right? The student one, right? Okay. So when I say move, so if the class is car, so definitely it will drive. If it is boat, it will sail, or if it is a plane, it will fly. Okay. So inheritance class polymorphism. So we can the apply the polymorphism. Okay. So polymorphism is applied whenever we are doing inheritance, because inheritance, like when the, okay, here is a polymorphism is the all are the separate class. But inheritance class polymorphism also there. This is a simple class polymorphism where we have different classes and different functions there. Function name is same. Function name is same. And depending on the instance, it is calling its function. If it is a car class instance, it's calling the car function, move function of the car. But function name is same. If you look at the function name is same, only thing is like based on the instance, it's calling its own function. But inheritance class formalism, here, if we use the example above, the make the parent class vehicle, and I will make a 3-child class, car, boat, plane of the vehicle, because all 3 are vehicle only, and the child class inherit the vehicle. So all the child classes are vehicle. So what I will do, I will keep it in my parent class, just move. I don't know whenever my class is inherited from vehicle, what type of class it is. I don't know. But whenever I define the class car vehicle, so my is class is car. So I know here I'm not defining, but here I can define the drive. So I can define the move function definition is a drive. If it is a class is a boat, I will define the sail. If I define the fly. And same thing I'm doing again. I'm creating a 3 instances, but here is the inheritance based is there. So this is the we are iterating the instance and we are checking if the instance is the car type. Okay. So it will call that print function. Okay. So child class inherit the properties. Okay. So what is the scope is there? So there are the different types of variable scope is there. Scope means like boundaries. We can say like what is the function boundaries is there. Okay. Or for any function scope is there, variable scope is there, class scope is there. So scope is a common keyword. And this scope is different types of scopes there. Local scope, global scope, right? So when I say when I variable I define in the within a function, it is the local scope. So it will be used within a function. Outside the function cannot be used. When I define any variable, the local variable can be accessed from the function within a function. So if this function, if I'm calling a one inner function, that can use this variable. So this is so here if you define any variable within this function, that will be local to this function, but this variable is global to this function. If you define some variable outside this function, it will be global to both the function. Okay. So global can be accessed outer any function. So see, this is a variable I'm using in this function because it is outside the one. Okay. So any number of functions we can use, and global keyword, we can deliberately make some variable global. Even your function is finished, you can use this variable. Okay. So this all things we done in the beginning. If you remember, right, we done in the beginning. What is a module? Module is like sometimes you cannot write all the function in the same class. So generally module is a good practice. Like we define module. I want to set up functions, keep it in a one same file. Okay. Suppose I say I want to define some arithmetic operations. So I will keep it one arithmetic.py file separately. If I have some separate operator functions, so I will do operator.py. So now I want to create a module for that file in another file where I want to import it. So first of all, I have some file. I say greeting function is there in my module.py. Okay. And this function I want to use in another file. So first of all, I will import this my module. And whatever is my function name, I will refer it my module.greeting. Because I'm referring the function by module name dot function name, and that will call specific this function. So you cannot have the same function name with the same number of parameters. You cannot have. You have only one function body. Okay. So this way we can use. Suppose you have defined a variable, right? Suppose you have defined one dictionary. This is a dictionary you define, and you want to use this dictionary in the another Python file. So module dot, you will be using a dictionary and you are passing the key and you get the value from here. So age means 36 will come. Okay. Renaming a module. Suppose you don't want to use suppose your file name is a very long file name, my module. So every time you do my module, my module, my module, so you can do as you can do this. So then you can use with this new name MX. So MX you can use. Okay. Some built-in module is there, like OS is there, import OS is there, import platform is there, import OS there. So there are many other built-in module libraries are there. Okay. So if you import from module, like you have a one function and one dictionary, and this both you want to use it, you can use the here. What is the difference you can see? I'm not I'm just not giving a as rename. Simply what I did, from my module import person1 is my specific only one I want to get. Okay. So if I do from my module as from my module I will do as, okay, I will do as, I can do entire module I can access. Okay, everything I can access, even the variable function. Okay, but here I'm just giving import only one specific thing, right? Import only the person1 direct dictionary, person1. So I'm just doing import and then directly I use this name in my here. Okay. Okay, it's clear. And other remaining things are the dates are there. Okay, very small libraries are there. Dates are there, date time. Okay, and math functions, right? So these are like on demand. JSON is important. Like JSON is like a key value pair database. So you can create a dictionary to JSON or JSON string to dictionary. You can convert. Suppose you have a string values as a dictionary form, and you load JSON.load X, then it will create a dictionary. Or convert from the Python to JSON. Suppose you have a dictionary and you pass this dump function. So two functions are there. JSON.load, which is taking a string and convert into dictionary. Second one is which is taking your dictionary and convert into a string. So if you see here, it will become as a string, right? So this is a dictionary. This is a dictionary in Python, and it is converting into JSON, okay, string. Okay. So these are the other example, like you have list item you can convert, or you have a tuple item, you have a single value, float value, Boolean value, or null value. Okay. Or you can have like a dictionary with the nested item, right? You have a array type values are there. So you can make it all as a string type. See, this will become as a string. So entire JSON data, you can make it a string by using the dump function. Okay. So this is JSON is very important, right? How to convert JSON to dictionary and dictionary to JSON. And another one is the regex is there. Regex is very important whenever you are doing like some pattern matching things. So import RE. Okay. So you are doing here import RE, and this import RE you are doing, right, regex expression. Suppose this text txt you want to find starting with the letter, like caret sign is the, like starting letter is anything starting with the letter. So if you see here, so this is finding the match. Okay, if I make it, so no match is coming because this word is not there. Uh-huh. What it means by the star? Any number of letters. Hmm. So regex functions, 4 functions are there. If you want to find all matches, if you want to find search particular item, something match you are matching. Split, you can do the splitting also. Suppose something is reoccurred, multiple times occurred. So you want to, like space wise, you want to do. So /s you are giving for space. So in this txt string, you want to split by space. So four word is coming. So that is also can be done by regex. And regex can do, right? You can say split the string only at the first occurrence. And sub function is there, right? Replaces matches, right? Substitute, right? You want to substitute all spaces with the 9. Okay, so you want to replace all the spaces with the 9. So 9 rain, 9 in, 9 Spain. Okay, so this is the way like we can use the sub function. Okay, so this is all done, and one is the exception handling. Exception handling, we have a try, catch, right? So catch is here except, and then we have else and finally. So something we keep it in the try block and except block. If any error comes in this print, so it will print statement, it will print. So suppose if I'm not defined print, right? So here is my exception came and my error is printed. But if I have not used properly exception handling, what will happen? In this case, you will get proper error. So you are getting the error. But this error you handled here by using the some accept. So you can accept and you can, if you have a different error may come, you can use multiple accept, multiple catch, because in the Java we call catch, in the Scala we have catch, but here in the accept. Okay. Else block. So you can say if something error is went wrong, otherwise nothing went wrong. So if it is not any error, it just print hello. So nothing went wrong. Okay. But suppose you have some variable you are printing, and that variable you didn't define, like suppose x, you are saying print x. So something went wrong. So something went wrong means you are defining the print x, but you don't have the array x variable, right? So you will get error. Finally is always executed, even the error comes or not comes. So finally will be always executed. So it will be always executed. So different try, nested try statement also there. If you want to throw your exception, suppose you get some exception like condition. So you say x equal to -1. So you want to throw the exception because your number is less than 0. So you can predefine condition. You want to throw your own custom exception. So you can throw the custom exception also. And raise keyword is used to raise the exception. Okay. So suppose I match the condition and then I say raise the exception I can do. Okay. So you do practice on this exception things and everything. Okay. So from Monday, we will start the Spark. Okay. So Scala, you guys start. Okay. If anybody is preparing Scala, because if I take it Scala session, so that will take more time. So what you guys do, you start Scala. If anybody is interested in Scala, any question, doubt, ask me. Okay, but I will start on the PyCharm. We will start the Spark transformation, data transformations, and we'll be starting from the fundamentals, right? Spark concept, and then we'll move on to the like a Spark core, Spark SQL. Okay, so first initially we will take so the whole week will be the Spark. So be don't miss the class. So complete Spark and with the Spark integrations, right? Different, because some new tools also will be coming, like Mongo, Cassandra, okay, Elasticsearch, okay, and we will be installing the and Hive integration with Spark and Spark integration with the MySQL. So all integrations will do. Okay. Okay. So we'll connect on Monday. Okay. So be prepared on till Python or whatever concept. And everybody has submitted the last assignment. Okay. I will give the one assignment. Actually, I'm already delayed some assignment. So Scoop and Hive, I think all these assignment I given or not, I didn't check. So I will check if any assignment is pending. Please complete all assignment by Monday. Okay. This weekend you complete assignment. Okay. Okay. Thank you.